Hello, Rayta Ray. It's been a while. It's been a few streams since I've seen you here. You've not been here. I believe you've not been here yesterday. Have you? Have you been here yesterday? I also don't believe you here being... I also don't believe you've been here the day before yesterday. You've missed... You've missed 2 sessions of... What's it called? That game? Fallout New Vegas. That's the name. The trans game. Transgender game. And now I'm peeling an orange. Because I have to eat an orange. Oh yeah, because you were not here. That's why. Let me read it again. Let's go ahead and read it. Do you have open DMs with me? Do you have DMs with me? Are we friends on Discord? Oh, what is the gift info? You have info to gift me? What is the info? Okay, where's the poem? Did you send it to my email? Did you send it to my email? I handed my mom a bunch of questions. I brainstormed on her essay career. It showed like 5 pages today. There's still more she has to deliver by if I should. Oh yeah, how do I open White Forest messages? I don't even know how to open though. Hold on. That explains it. I don't know how to open the White Forest messages. Oh my gosh. I am so illiterate when it comes to... How do I... Where are White Forest messages? Oh my gosh. Oh, messages. Okay, on messages. It is nice. I just read it. It is nice. Oh yeah. I am still a little bit... My stomach has been sick lately. I even threw up a little bit. My stomach has been like burning stomach, and it's not been nice. My stomach has been burning. My whole body's been burning. Burning up. It's nice to pawn. What a weird face I'm making. I guess I'll just have a weird face. I have to face it. Face it! You got a weird face. Face it, Lucy. You just hit the jackpot of having a weird face. I think I have a new hate watcher in the comments. A whole new hate watcher. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Stomach bug, no fun at all. I got over some of supper respiratory illness this past week, but I had a lingering cough, but no, what was interesting. Well, my stomach still hurts. I will cure myself with an orange. Cure myself with an orange. Maybe I should stream more consistently. The viewership has been suffering from my wacky ways. A new puppy. Do you have a photo? Do you have a photo? The new puppy? Oh, my mom fell down recently. I have to go there tomorrow and help do certain things. More help. More help. Yeah. So you have. Let me think. Aww. Charlie. Very nice. Is that you standing in front of the doggy? Oh yeah, my mom was running to the bus and she fell on her face. And now she has a wound on her nose and she's not feeling very well. Not feeling very well. Okay. Oh my goodness. So yes, tomorrow I'll be at mom's helping her prepare herself for stuff. Also, her favorite dresser retired. Her favorite hairdresser retired. So I'll also have to help her with hair. Hair care. Hair care help. It's okay. I've gotten practice with hair care help recently. Interestingly enough. So yeah. Israel. Eretz Israel. Oh, I wanna mute the tab. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's so late. Damn. Central is live? Huh. That is so strange. Okay. How is everybody right now and stuff? How are you? Wait, I'm gonna count on my fingers. How are you, you, and especially you. You, oh, and you. You're my favorite. Person number 9. Person number 9 is my favorite. My favorite person in the world is person number 9. How are you? Please tell me. You've been pointed out individually by me. I've pointed you out individually. You've not taken my bait, person number 9. You have not taken my bait, which disappoints me a bit. Oh my gosh. I wanna watch. Dr. K is an ironically evil. Huh. Dr. K is evil. There's a thing that I wanted to watch. My favorite channel. Let me just go here. Maya Mayor, hello. Hello, how have you been? How are you? How are you, Maya Mayor? Welcome. You're a Mayor presence. You're a Mayor presence on this stream. Just for you, I'm going to look up the thing that I want to watch today to begin with. Which is, I want to see those numbers rise. I want to see those numbers rise and prove wrong. What's the... Okay, let's... Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna watch this. Okay, we're gonna start with this, I guess. Okay, nice. So, we are going to... Hello, Arkael. How have you been? Wait, since you're here, are you willing to come on today? Are you willing to grace me with your... what's it called? Entry thing today? And talk to me about the CAS report? Is that a thing that you think we'll be able to do together like a family? Guild Wars 2. How's that going? How's Guild Wars? You don't know if you have the spoons. You're going through a lot. That is not good. It is not good to be going through a lot. I hope you'll get better. I hope things get better. I know the feeling of going through things. It's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll be going through some nice, what you call it? We'll be going through some nice, what you call it? Video. It's called a video. A propaganda video. Hold on. There we go. Wow, it's actually on still. Okay. Simonian says Russia needs more executioners. It's gonna be our video. It's gonna be our video for today, okay? Oh, we're gonna watch it. What do you think? Good idea? You excited? Do we need more executioners? Does Russia need more executioners? Press yes or no. Write yes or no in the chat on the question of whether or not Russia needs more executioners. And then we'll find out in the video. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that an exciting React thing? And making it an interactive exercise. You can vote in the chat if you'd like Russia to have more executioners. And then we're gonna find out together if Russia actually needs more executioners or not. Hey. It's really fun. I'm excited. Very nice. Very nice. Very good. Very good, very cool. Okay. Okay, let's watch. Let's watch the video. It's no time like the present. They don't need more executioners. I'm voting. We'll see. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe there is a need for more executioners. Who knows? Damn. Who is this? Who's this? Who's this wonderful person going on the stage? Wow. I'm already excited. What are they gonna say? What are they gonna say? Am I showing it? I'm showing it. I'm showing it on screen. Stream.
Ночь была неспокойная.
Last night was turbulent. Turbulent night last night was.
При этом, на мой
In
взгляд,
my opinion, reaction from both sides
реакция что с одной, что с другой стороны более чем
was
странная.
beyond strange.
И одни говорят, да,
One side says no big deal, they couldn't do anything.
пустяки, ничего не смогли. Да не, ничего подобного.
No, it's not like that.
Сам факт.
Some fact. Jesus. Just the fact that they went from the words to deeds
То, что от разговоров перешли к делу, уже очень показательно.
is in itself very telling.
И речь не о том,
It's not about what the attacking side could accomplish
что удалось и не удалось атакующей стороне, какие были задачи,
or what the defending side was able to do.
и удалось, не удалось обороняющей стороне. Во-первых, это
First, it shows how the seeds sown many years ago
показывает, как зерна, посеянные много лет назад,
are
дают
now sprouting.
свои исходы. Ведь ничего подобного,
There wouldn't have been a strike of Iran against Israel
никакого удара Ирана по Израилю не было бы,
if Trump did not withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal.
если бы когда-то Трамп
Shade thrown at Trump. That is true that it was pretty bad for Trump to do that. That is actually pretty true.
который сейчас заявляет, что если был бы он, то войны бы не было, не вышел из
Even though now he is claiming that there would be no war if he was around.
ядерной сделки. Ведь на этом
Based on that, the configuration of that shaky piece
разрушилась конфигурация того зыбкого мира, который строил.
was destroyed.
А все остальное уже
For the rest, the wheel is already in motion.
маховик запущен. Уважение к
There's zero respect for Americans.
американцам ноль.
Что
What's
происходит
going on with this world? What's going on?
с этим миром? Что с ним происходит? Все воюют.
Everybody's fighting. Russia, Ukraine, Israel.
Россия, Украина, Израиль, Ближний Восток
The Middle East is blowing up.
взрывается. Все взрывается.
Everything is blowing up.
Китай уже на очереди с Тайванем.
China is gonna be next with Taiwan.
А все из-за слабости. Китай
Because of weakness, China is gonna be next.
будет следующим. Что вообще происходит? Верните
What's going on?
Дональда Трампа в президенты, и все
Bring Donald Trump back as president, and it will all stop.
закончится. Все закончится.
Sure.
Наивный. Он-то
He's naive. Everything would only get started. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Wow. I mean...
я думаю, что только все начнется.
Jesus. He's naive. Everything would only get started. In other words, that's one way of saying Trump would only make things worse, which is an interesting thing to hear from the Russian propaganda TV. I would want to believe that everything would end.
Я хотел бы верить, что все закончится, но у меня я об этом много
What a strange character this person is. Film director Karen Shakhnazarov. I've said this many times before.
раз говорил. При всей моей симпатии
With all of my affinity for Trump personally,
вот к личности Трампа, но что-то мне
something tells me that as soon as he comes to power,
подсказывает, что как только он придет к власти, он будет делать все то же
he will do the same or maybe even worse.
самое, а может быть еще хуже.
Я думаю, что у всех,
I think that everyone in this studio
которые присутствуют в этой студии, когда все началось,
had the same impression when all of this had started.
один и тот же образ. Нас об этом
We have been warned about this in this very studio
предупреждали, притом в этой студии. Владимир Вольфович
by Vladimir Wolfovich Zirinovsky.
Жириновский.
These were the last elections.
Последние были. В 24 году
You will have no elections in 2024
выборов у вас не будет. Не будет страны под
because there will be no country by the name of Ukraine. Jesus.
названием Украина.
Well, we're in 2024 and Ukraine still firmly exists, so that's bullshit. Okay? That's That's, yeah.
Вы не учитываете ситуацию на Ближнем Востоке. Там развернутся такие события, что
Things will happen there.
все забудут вообще, что такое Украина. Дело
Will make everyone forget what Ukraine even is.
идет о Третьей мировой войне.
Will make everyone.
И Иран это не
Things are moving towards World War III.
Вьетнам и не Северная Корея и
Iran
не
is not Vietnam, North Korea, or Kosovo.
Kosovo. Здесь будут самые
The
страшные
most frightening events will take place.
события. Мы будем вынуждены пропустить
We will be forced to allow the refugees to go to you.
беженцев туда, к вам. К вам
Over
Европа
there, Europe will let them through.
пропустит. Турки по нашей просьбе
The
пропустят.
Turks will let them through on our request.
Вот все у вас там соберутся, и в вашей стране конец.
All of them will gather there, and your country is finished. What? Huh?
Это было
This was 5 years ago. Okay. Okay. Jesus.
пять лет
Okay, that was 5 years ago, so
назад. За 5 лет об этом Владимир
Vladimir Lvovich warned about this 5 years in advance.
Владимирович предупреждал.
About what? About what?
Да,
Yes, you don't always feel this fabric of time.
не всегда мы чувствуем.
5 years ago, Iran will do something. 5 years later, Iran did something. He predicted it. He predicted it all 5 years ago. Okay.
Вот эту ткань
But there were warning bells.
времени, а звоночки, оказывается, были.
Go ahead, Margarita Simonovna.
Маргарита Семеновна.
Спасибо. Несколько
Thank you. I have a few comments about what was said.
комментариев о сказанном. Конечно, Владимир Вольфович,
Vladimir Wolfovich, may he rest in peace.
царство ему небесное, является
The confirmation that science doesn't know it all yet. What? What does that have to do with science? Huh? What? Oh. Huh? Okay. Okay. Whatever.
подтверждением того,
If science isn't aware of something,
что не все еще известно науке, а если что-то
it
неизвестно
doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. What is
науке, это совершенно не значит, что этого нет.
what is she saying?
Наука и про электричество
Not that long ago, on the scale of eternity,
еще совсем недолгое время назад
science had no idea about electricity either.
в масштабах вечности не имела никакого представления, по крайней мере, его не использовала, не
At least it didn't use it, not to mention cell phones
говоря уже о мобильных телефонах и всем остальном, что нам
and everything else that we are used to now.
сейчас привычно. Наука
Science doesn't understand why there are people
не понимает, как это вот бывают люди, которые способны
who are able to foresee something. What? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Science doesn't know why there are people that can foresee things. What?
что-то предвидеть. А они бывают.
But they do exist. Science doesn't know why smart people exist. Okay.
Возможно, когда-то, как открыли
The way they discovered photography and antibiotics.
фотографию, как открыли антибиотики, наука
Perhaps science will discover a certain energy. Fuck me.
откроет некую энергию, которая существует просто
That exists, but it's yet unknown to science.
пока ей неизвестно, который
That some people have, like Vladimir Wolfovich. Oh no. Oh no. This is stupid. This is incredibly, incredibly stupid. I don't even. I don't even know what to say. This is stupid.
наделены некоторые люди, как Владимир Вольфович.
Vladimir Wolfovich.
И что касается
As
происходящего,
far as everything that is happening,
мне очень хочется надеяться,
I
что
would very much like to hope that his prophetic words, prophetic, he just said that Iran would do something and Iran did something 5 years later. Those prophetic words. Amazing.
его пророческие слова о том, что все забудут
That everyone will forget about Ukraine.
про Украину,
Everybody did not forget about Ukraine. He said that by 2024, nobody would know what Ukraine is as a country because it would no longer exist. Ukraine exists and everybody remembers what it is. What is this nonsense? What's so prophetic about what we are in 2024? We all know what Ukraine is.
они действительно окажутся
Will indeed turn out to be prophetic.
пророческими. Это главное, что
Aid is going to be voted for this week. This is the main thing I care about in this whole conflict.
волнует лично меня во всем этом конфликте. Нас оставьте в покое.
Leave us alone. Leave us and our Ukraine alone. So basically, just let us crush Ukraine without any obstacles. That is what she's saying. Leave us and our Ukraine alone.
Нас и нашу Украину оставьте в покое. Забудьте об этом. И это будет
Forget about it. This will be a wonderful outcome for us. I'm sure it will.
для нас замечательный итог. Вы, Руси,
The no longer Russians who left, who are in self-exile.
понауехавшие самовыгнанцы, как еще назвать,
Their condition has worsened right now, this week. Whose?
у которых случилось обострение сейчас, на этой неделе, ну, потому что
Because nostalgia always worsens in the spring.
весна, весной всегда актуализируется ностальгия. Вот эти все эмоции
Our people who left can't escape these emotions.
не могут быть чужды нашим понауехавшим.
What? They always worsen during springtime.
Весной они обостряются, но есть у них от этого
They have an antidepressant for this. Their self-therapy.
один антидепрессант. Такой аутотренинг, самопсихотерапия.
It's the gallows.
Это виселицы. Они все видят себя
They see themselves as those who will do the hangings.
вешателями. Вот они на это
What? It's just what? It's just some weird nonsense.
неделе опять расписались.
This week they were writing how they will hang all of us. What? Who's gonna hang who?
О том, как они будут нас всех вешать. Сладострастно.
They write about this salaciously.
Страстно они об этом пишут, сладострастно.
Solovyov is hanging on the left.
Слева висит Соловьев, справа висит
Simonian is hanging on the right.
Симонян, а по центру даже
It's frightening to say who is hanging in the middle,
страшно, кто в его сладостных мечтах висит.
in their salacious dreams.
К чему мы
What should we aspire to in this situation?
в такой ситуации должны стремиться? Мы должны
In
стремиться
my opinion, we should strive for two things.
к двум вещам, на мой взгляд. Первое.
First, we should aspire to be the kind of a country
Мы должны стремиться быть такой страной, чтобы когда Николаю
like when Nicholas I didn't like a play in Paris.
Первому не понравилась постановка в Парижском театре о
About the adventures of Catherine the Great,
похождениях Екатерины II, у нее похождений-то было не так много,
even though there weren't that many for her age,
на самом деле, для ее возраста. По нынешним-то временам
and according to the modern standards.
вообще, я имею в виду количество
I
мужчин,
mean, the number of men in her life.
которые были в ее жизни. Ну, пьеса не
So
понравилась
Nicholas I didn't like this play.
Николаю Первому, и он обратился через посла
He addressed the French government through an ambassador,
к властям французским с требованием снять пьесу
demanding that this play never be shown again.
с репертуара, изъять и больше не показывать. На что ему было отвечено, что
They replied, "We are a free country.
ну подождите, у нас свободная страна, мы не командуем репертуарами театров,
We don't control the theater repertoire.
пьесу может только снять публика, она
Only the public can take it down by booing it."
может ее освистать. На что он сказал, ну, освистать?
He said, "Fine, I will send you 300,000 viewers."
Ну хорошо, я пришлю вам 300
Hello.
тысяч зрителей в серых
In great trench coats like in 1812, and they will boo it.
шинелях, как в 12 году. И они ее освищут. Вот нам к этому надо стремиться.
This is what we should aspire to. Is it? Is it the thing that you should be aspiring to? Is it really? Is it truly the thing that you should be aspiring to? Booing.
И пьесу сняли с
The
репертуара.
play was cancelled.
А что касается виселиц
As far as the gallows and those who do the hangings,
и вешателей, был у нас такой в нашей
Count Muravyov, who was into hanging,
отечественной истории. Граф Муравьев, вешатель, всем известный. Он был
was a
родственник
relative of a Decembrist who was hanged.
повешенного декабриста, другого Муравьева.
Another Muravyov.
И когда ему
When this was brought up, he would say,
на это пеняли, он говорил, я не из тех Муравьевых,
"I'm not one of those Muravyovs who get hanged.
которых вешают. Я из тех Муравьевых,
I'm
которые
one of those Muravyovs who do the hangings."
вешают сами. И действительно повесил
He publicly hanged 128 militants.
публично 128 боевиков, которые, естественно,
Naturally, the Western press did not call them militants.
западная пресса называла никакими не боевиками, а инсургентами,
They would call them the insurgents, the rebels,
повстанцами, участников польского восстания,
the participants of a Polish rebellion who committed Повстание is not rebellion. Повстание is insurgents.
которые творили немыслимые зверства.
Acts of unthinkable savagery during this uprising. There you go.
Во время этого восстания не только по отношению
Not only towards the Russian troops,
к военнослужащим российским, но и по отношению к
but also towards religious leaders and regular people.
духовнослужителям и простым людям. Известная история, как
Throwing shade on the Polish uprisings. There is a well-known story about how a landowner.
пожилую женщину-помещицу повесили там.
Why are we talking about Polish uprisings? How did we get here? How did we get to the uprisings? I wonder. Jesus. An elderly woman was hanged on a chandelier.
Люстре. на свечах. Вот он повесил их 120
So he hanged 128 people, and here is what I'd like to say.
28 человек, и я что хочу сказать? Вот
We need these kinds of people who do the hangings. More executioners.
такие вешатели нам нужны. А эти пусть остаются там,
Let those others say whatever they landed.
где они приземлились, спиваются в своих пабах.
Let them get drunk in their pubs.
А нам будут нужны
But we will need these kinds of people.
такие. Уж не знаю, дойдет ли до Польши или
I
нет.
don't know whether it will reach Poland. Jesus, Poland again. It's obsession. Poland again.
Но даже те территории, которые
But even in these territories that are already ours,
уже наши, очень
we
нам
really need the kind of discipline you've discussed. My microphone is quiet. I'm gonna have to check it. Hold on. Am I quiet? It should be fine. It sounds fine on my end. It sounds perfectly fine on my end. So maybe it's,
нужна та дисциплина, о которой ты рассказывал
in the beginning.
в начале.
Jesus. Of course. Of course. So there you have it. The uprising was bad, apparently, and we need more executioners like in the good old days when Polish uprisers were hanged. And it just, yeah. We need to kill more people, just like in the good old days of the Polish uprising. I wonder which one. I assume that the mentioned uprising was the January uprising, the newer one, the fresher one, the 19th century one. Jesus. Welcome back, Greater Rank. You've missed Russian propagandist talking about how all the Russia must have more executioners to kill people, just like in the good old days of the Polish uprisings, the January uprising in particular. Actually, we can look it up. January uprising. 22nd January 1863. And the hangings happened after it failed. So yeah, we're talking about the good old thing. So yeah, that is the propaganda piece. That is the propaganda of the you-know-what, Russia, for you. So it feels okay. It seems okay. Vodka, hello. Hello, Vodka. How are you? But now, we're going to be discussing news relating to, hold on, because we do have some news today that I wish to discuss in a moment. I'm never prepared before time because I'm just like, I'm good, and you? I'm still a little bit ill. No, not COVID. Stomach thing. A stomach thing. So let's start with a little bit of a thing about Slovakia, huh? Mm, let's get this from the new voice of Ukraine. So, as you may or may not have known, as you may or may not have heard, Slovakia, for some time, ever since a certain party has won in Slovakia with its prime minister, there's been a pretty strange swap, okay? Soon before the Polish parliamentary election, there's been an election in Slovakia, and a pro-Russia sort of political movement has won in Slovakia, which sort of raised the stakes in Poland. It's been a tense period during that time because Hungary has been showing some real pro-Russian sentiments at the time. Poland has been moving slowly, dangerously in a anti-Ukrainian direction over the tension at the border. There was a statement by the ex-prime minister of Poland that Poland would not be sending any more weapons, that it would be instead arming itself. And plus, Slovakia won. In Slovakia, a pro-Russian party won, which meant that a lot was at stake on whether or not Law and Justice would continue to be in power in Poland or not. Thank goodness Law and Justice lost in Poland, and the course has been sort of changed in many ways when it comes to the Polish government and when it comes to the Polish governance. The erosion of democracy in Poland has been sort of thwarted and reversed. But still, we are left with a Slovakia that is pretty openly pro-Russian. And very recently, we have heard a very curious statement by the Slovakian Prime Minister. You know that thing that we've been sort of depending on for quite some time now? This idea that the borders of countries are sort of the idea of integrity of borders, the idea that the international order does not allow anymore for a country to just attack another country willy-nilly and annex territory. We all thought that we've been past that sort of era. We've all thought that we've been past this sort of way of dealing, of international dealings, of country X attacks country Y, carves up part of it, and the cycle repeats all over the place. We all sort of thought we were past that, but apparently, according to the Slovakian Prime Minister, that is not exactly the case. According to the Slovakian Prime Minister, that is just an empty gesture. A nice sort of little political thing. Russia will never return Crimea and will never leave Donbass and Luhansk, says pro-Russian Slovak Prime Minister. Russia has no intention of relinquishing control over occupied Crimea, Donbass and Luhansk, pro-Russian Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico declared to the Parliament's European Committee, asserting that this is theirs. The Czech news agency CTK reported on April 17th. From the point of view of international law, each of us recognizes the territorial integrity of another country, its sovereignty, and the inviolability of borders. This is a good theory of international law, he said. So basically, he said, while this is nice in theory, in practice, it means very, very little. But I say that the Russians will never return Crimea. The Russians will never leave Donbass and Luhansk. And what I want to say is that this is not really, this is more a testament to Russia breaking the international law, breaking the international precedent, more than any indication that the law itself is just a cute little theory, you know? And I believe, personally, that it is up to us, and by us I mean the collective West, to make sure that it is more than just a cute theory, that a country cannot just attack another country, annex parts of its territory, and then declare this is ours now and there's nothing anybody can do about it, and integrity and sovereignty are just cute theories. Like, this cannot become the norm. The idea that sovereignty of countries are just cute little theories. Fico also claimed that Ukraine was losing territory every day, while Russia was gaining more territory as part of its offensive. Ukraine has no military potential and no military power. It has no military solution and will never have one. There will only be 100,000 more dead on one side and on the other. NATO invasion is the only thing that can help, but it is World War III. See? Is that an extremely pro-Russian sentiment? Because it's not true. It's just blatantly not true. Like, look at the tempo of Russian advancement. Look at how much territory Russia is gaining every day. And why? Most of all, think a bit. Think why Russia is gaining so much ground. And not it's actually very slow, the way Russia is gaining ground. And all of it is not because of the brilliant Russian military potential. It is because Ukraine is starved. It's starved out. It is faced with critical share shortage. It is faced with problems. It just cannot be understated that Russia is not gaining ground on the merit of its military prowess. It is gaining ground on the quote-unquote merit of Ukraine not having the means to defend itself against Russian aggression, because so far the US aid is still blocked, even though the voting will supposedly happen this week over a Ukraine bill, and Europe is just slow to deliver what it should be delivering to Ukraine to allow it to win. So no, I don't believe that NATO invasion is the only thing that can help. I believe that what can help are two things. Real, tangible help from the West, from the US and from Europe, unblocking the 60 billion aid, delivering weapons and munition quickly, and also Ukraine mobilizing more troops. That's it. Those are the things that are necessary. There's no need for a NATO invasion. That is, I just don't believe that. I think this is like false. Ukraine has the means to win. It just needs help. Fico proposed a cessation of hostilities and suggested granting special status to the Russian-controlled areas of eastern Ukraine, followed by a referendum on their future. Oh, you mean like the fake referendums that caused this whole mess to begin with? Like, I don't trust those referendums. Like, who would oversee those referendums? How would those referendums happen? On what rules? What if an actual referendum happened and everybody in those territories decided that they want to be part of Ukraine? Would Russia accept that? What if Crimea, Donetsk and Luhansk, under an actual international supervision, when asked, decided they want to be part of Ukraine? What will happen then? Would Russia just quietly accept that? I don't think so. I don't think Russia would just quietly accept such a I don't think Russia would accept such an outcome. I just don't. You can build castles in the air, but the Russians are not going to leave. This is theirs, he said. See? This is theirs. The Slovakian Prime Minister already sort of accepts these terrains as Russian, because he's just basically a pro-Russian guy. So of course he's gonna say that mindlessly, without thinking just how much of a bad precedent this sets, that a country can just invade, take over, and declare this is mine now. The Slovakian Prime Minister is too short-sighted to see that this very thing could just happen to Slovakia one day. Russia could enter. Oh, these parts of Slovakia seem like they're ours. Or maybe even the entirety of Slovakia is ours. Maybe Slovakia is not even a real place. Maybe Slovakia is just Russia, you know? But that's neither here nor there. Previously, Fico repeatedly spread Russian narratives about the war in Ukraine, claiming that it illegally began because of Ukrainian Nazis, and publicly urging Kyiv to cede territory to Moscow in exchange for peace. Oh yeah, the denazification. Putin said that Poland was next for denazification. In January, Fico said that Ukraine must give up some of its territory to Russia in order to end the war. He also argues that it is better for Ukraine and Russia to negotiate for the next 10 years than to kill each other. Kill each other? It was Russia that invaded. At the same time, on April 11th, he said that Slovakia was firmly behind Ukraine's bid to join the European Union. This is just pathetic. But I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen the moment the Slovakian election had ended. Like, this was a very predictable result. When a pro-Russian government takes office, it was not something that I did not see coming, unfortunately. There's a silver lining to this. The silver lining is that the Law and Justice Party at about the same time lost its grip of power in Poland. Of course, there's the fact that Poland has been enabling Hungary for a long time with its little scuffles against the European Union. And there has been worry that Slovakia would sort of kind of take its place. All Slovakia is being pretty aggressively and openly pro-Russia, which we're seeing now. We'll see. We'll see how things will develop. Currently, as we speak, things are still not well, especially as things have developed in the Israel-Palestine conflict, how Iran has attacked Israel, how all the missiles and drones have been intercepted, how it shows how the West can unite and act when it comes to certain things, but seems to be quite not as capable when it comes to other things. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what will happen. But we do have some good news. We do have some good news for a change. And I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it right now. The good news. The good old news. Hold on. I want to check something. Oh. There we go. So it seems... Okay. We're going to be clicking on this. And... Right. It seems like finally after like 6 months, was it 6 months? Many weird adventures, many weird shuffling in the House of Speakers, the Republicans losing their bit by bit their majority in the House because of some Republicans getting impatient. They apparently only have one person majority in the House now, the Republicans. And after all that time, after all the tensions, after all the things, after all the Trumpian scheming, it seems like we have a date on when a vote will be happening for Ukraine aid bill. Finally, the Republican Party has sort of decided that it has to be tied to the southern border problem and Israel. And then they sort of tried to vote Israel independently, but that was shut down. Then they kept stalling the Ukrainian bill, the joint bill that had the southern border and Israel in it. And now they decided to disjoint it again after Marjorie Taylor Greene sort of threatened to get rid of Mike Johnson if he agrees to any aid for Ukraine. And now it seems like a separate bill for Ukraine is going to be voted on. And I believe it will be this Saturday. This Saturday, we might be seeing a vote on a Ukraine bill. US House to vote on Ukraine and Israel aid despite hardline objections. So there is a chance. I'm not going to say it's guaranteed because, well, I'm definitely not saying that it's guaranteed because I've learned throughout all of this time, I have learned to be a bit skeptical, and I have learned not to get too excited until a thing actually happens, okay? Don't count our chickens until they hatch. But let's read. Let's see what this is all about. Let's see if we can get our hopes up. Let's see if there is anything to get our hopes up about. Let's not get too excited. Stuff might still happen. We might get to the day of the vote and I don't know, Mike Johnson will get ill and say we have to postpone. I don't know. I hope that will not happen. I sure hope the vote will go actually as planned and that the aid will be approved. But you never know. Unfortunately, at this point, all I have to say is that you never know. Let's get into it. The US House of Representatives will have its long-awaited vote on aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Indo-Pacific as soon as Saturday. There are actually speculations as to why this is happening, and the speculation is that the escalation of the Israel-Palestine situation, the attack of Iran on Israel, has put so much pressure on the House that this thing could not be postponed any further. But that's neither here nor there. So the U.S. House of Representatives will have its long-awaited vote on aid for Ukraine, Israel, and Indo-Pacific as soon as Saturday. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson said on Wednesday, paving the way for its possible passage despite fierce objections from the right wing of his conference. The House Appropriations Committee unveiled legislation providing more than $95 billion in security assistance, including $60.84 billion to address the conflict in Ukraine, of which $23.2 billion would be used to replenish U.S. weapon stocks and facilities. So basically, the U.S. would sort of, I guess, give weapons to Ukraine and replenish its stock with the equivalent of $23.2 billion. That is how that would work. The Israel bill total $26.38 billion, some of which will cover the cost of U.S. military operations responding to recent attacks, and $9.1 billion of the total is designated for humanitarian needs, something Democrats had demanded, although it bans any funding for the UN Palestinian Refugee Agency, UNRWA. The security aid effort gained urgency following Iran's weekend attacks on Israel in retaliation for a suspected Israeli airstrike on Iran's embassy compound on Damascus on April 1st. See, this is basically what I said, that this is caused by the pressure from the Iran attack on Israel, which, by the way, Israel is already sort of announcing that it will do its own retaliation to the Iran attack, which might cause things to escalate further. The situation is still ongoing. We will see how it will develop. But that is, again, a totally different discussion for a totally different topic. The Indo-Pacific measures totals $8.12 billion. Indo-Pacific, which would be Taiwan. Johnson said he would give House members 72 hours until midday Saturday to review the bill and offer amendments before a vote on final passage. He also said he would release a separate border security bill, meeting a demand from conservatives. Democratic President Joe Biden called on Congress to pass the bill quickly. I will sign this into law immediately to send a message to the world. We stand with our friends and we won't let Iran or Russia succeed, Biden said in a statement. The three bills are similar to a $95 billion foreign assistance package the Senate passed in February with strong 70% bipartisan support, but Johnson declined to move ahead until this week amid objections from hard-right lawmakers, some of whom threatened to try to oust him as Speaker. For example, Marjorie Taylor Greene threatened to oust him as Speaker should he agree to any aid to Ukraine. The Ukraine bill includes a provision that economic assistance to Kyiv, not military, should be repaid, which was a conservative demand. However, the Biden administration could waive that requirement. Democratic support. Democratic support for Johnson's plan is essential given the slim Republican majority in the House and opposition from far-right Republicans. Right. The plan got an important boost from Representative Rosa DeLauro, the top House Appropriations Democrat. We finally have a path forward to provide support for our allies and desperately needed humanitarian aid, she said. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries said Democrats would discuss the bills and decide. We want to have that conversation as a caucus, as a family, as a team, he told reporters. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer also said that although the House measures seemed similar to the Senate bill and he wanted aid to pass quickly, he would review the legislation before deciding. At least 2 House members had threatened to try to oust Johnson if he went ahead, and a handful came out against the bills on Wednesday as soon as they were filed. Aid to Ukraine is strongly opposed by many of the most conservative lawmakers, especially those allied with former President Donald Trump, who has been a Ukraine aid skeptic and hopes to win back the White House in November. So basically, the most rabid MAGA hats are against aid for Ukraine. That is what the article is saying. And also, some of them have threatened to oust Mike Johnson as Speaker should he put any aid forward. I doubt the Democrats will sort of reject the bill. Unless there's something really nefarious hidden in the bill that the Democrats just cannot agree to, which we'll see. Hardline Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene on Wednesday reiterated her threat to try to remove Johnson. Joe Biden just announced he supports the House bill Johnson is forcing forward, Greene said on X. Johnson is not our speaker, he is theirs. The question is how much longer will our conference tolerate this? Johnson said he would not let the threat influence him, saying it was critically important to support Ukraine. I could make a selfish decision, but I'm doing here what I believe to be the right thing, he told reporters. The right thing. You should have done the right thing months ago. Like this, what a mess. Well, better late than never. The hope is that it is not too late. That's the big hope. That it is not too late. There are also objections on the left amid concern about sending money to Israel and as it strikes back against the October 7 attack by Hamas militants. Opponents say there should be tighter control on U.S. weapons and taxpayer dollars, given the devastating toll on Israel's campaign in Gaza on civilians. This worries me a bit. This part actually worries me a bit. Johnson said the House Rules Committee also would post a 4th national security measure, including the Repo Act, House TikTok bill, and sanctions. The Repo Act would set the stage to hand seized Russian assets over to Ukraine, and the House in March passed a bill that would give the short video app TikTok's Chinese owner ByteDance about 6 months to divest U.S. assets on or face a ban. Johnson also promised a separate border security bill. Immigration is a top concern for conservatives ahead of November 5 elections that will decide control of the White House and Congress. Some Republicans have insisted they would not back foreign aid without more funding for security at the frontier with Mexico. So there we have it. We're going to have a vote this Saturday, hopefully uninterrupted. Hopefully it will go well. Hopefully the aid for Ukraine will move forward, signed by Joe Biden. And we will see how it will affect the battlefield itself. We will see how it will affect the situation on the ground. We will see how long from the approval of aid it will actually take to implement the aid and for the effects to be felt on the ground. Actually, it seems like we can actually look a little bit at the text of the bill itself, so it seems like we will be able to actually take a look at the bill itself and see just what are we looking at. So let's take a look at the bill. Let's take a look at what it offers. Apparently, there is, well, let's see. This is actually pretty interesting. This is actually pretty interesting. Ukraine aid bill includes a requirement for the US president to provide the country with ATACMS missiles. The bill provides for the following, among other things: allocation of $61 billion, including $23 billion to replenish US arsenals. Assistance is planned to be provided on a loan basis, which is an interesting thing, the loan basis thing, because a loan can be waived. So technically speaking, it could be a loan, but in practice, Ukraine could be demanded to pay none of it. So it could be very well a pretty good thing. Confiscation of Russian assets to cover these expenses, which is another interesting point, because as far as I know, the US does not have that many US frozen assets. Most of these frozen assets reside in Europe, as far as I am aware, as far as I am, as far as my familiarity with the subject goes. The bill also requires the State Department and the Pentagon to submit a US strategy for supporting Ukraine. And this is it. Making emergency supplement appropriations to respond to the situation in Ukraine and for related expenses for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2024, and for other purposes. In the House of Representatives, a bill making emergency supplemental appropriations to respond, being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, that the following sums are appropriated out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated for the fiscal year ending blah 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 blah. So there we go. We sort of got a little bit of a view of what this bill entails. Some of it we already knew. Some of it we already knew that the 23 billion would be to replenish the US stock. This we've already sort of known. It has been known to us. But it's been nice. It's been nice to sort of take a look at this sort of, thing. We'll see. This is potentially very good news, but I'm Polish. I'm Polish, so I remain skeptical. I remain skeptical until the vote happens, until the vote passes, until the aid is accepted. I remain skeptical. It's in my blood. It's my destiny to be like this. It is the Polish way. No other way is possible. I would not be a Polish person if this would not be how I operate. But this is why you like me so much, because I offer some good old Polish bitterness to this discussion. I offer some good old fashioned Polish bitterness. which is needed. I offer you some authentic Eastern European experience, which, you just get the happy-go-lucky, yay, everything's good feels, while I give you the gritty Polish reality. Okay? Okay. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Now, we're gonna do some Polish news. Because there's been a controversy in Poland. There's been a controversy in Poland that only I can speak about. A thing that only I can talk about. And that is President Andrzej Duda has decided to go to the US and visit Donald Trump in his little private visit. It's a private visit, but it sort of created a controversy because the Polish president represents, as you may be shocked to learn, the Polish president sort of represents Poland. So this move is treated like the endorsement of Trump by Poland, by extension. And it made many Polish politicians and many Polish people pretty mad with the Polish president. Like, what are you doing? Are you stupid? Why are you going to meet Trump right as he's embroiled in so many scandals and so many trials? You're just going to offer a private visit? How brilliant, how amazing. So this is a little bit of a Polish controversy that's going on. Even when I visited my mom today, she was like, so what do you think about that Duda visit to Mr. Trump? What is your opinion? What do you think? Should he be visiting Trump? We're going to be looking at an article, a Polish article, which I will be super happy, super glad to translate. I'll be super glad to translate it for you, to give you some unique Polish content. That's why you're here. You're not gonna get it anywhere else. This uniqueness, this injection of uniqueness. So let's go. You're gonna be seeing some Polish, some foreign language. Duda about his meeting with Trump in his private apartment. Well, apparently he does. Everybody has time for Duda, Andrzej Duda, the president of Poland. So Duda talks about his meeting with Trump in his private apartment. I have been invited by Donald Trump to his private apartment. It is honestly a private visit, a private invitation, said Andrzej Duda, who is visiting the US. When he talked about his planned visit with the ex-president, his meeting with the ex-president of the United States. Western media believe that the meeting will happen when Europe is preparing for an eventual victory of Trump in this year's election and his return to the White House. This little private invitation. This is Duda. According to Associated Press, according to the source of the Associated Press, which chose to remain anonymous, Andrzej Duda is supposed to eat a dinner in New York with Trump. And the meeting is to happen in the Trump Tower in Manhattan, added Reuters. So there you go. Andrzej Duda and Donald Trump are going to be having dinner together. A very controversial dinner. The most controversial dinner in Poland. People are really unhappy. People are not happy with this meeting because, again, many people in Poland see this as an endorsement of a candidate, and that Poland should not be endorsing a candidate in a presidential race in the US. You know, stuff happens. Life's complicated. The Polish president has confirmed that the meeting will happen on Wednesday afternoon American time. And there's the repeat. I've been invited to his private apartment. It's a private meeting, blah, blah, blah. Andrzej Duda added that he's been cooperating with Donald Trump for 4 years. We know each other. We have a good relationship. And he added that our conversation will only be about our cooperation. We just know each other as people. As two, I could even say friends, stressed the president. Jesus. What a brown nose Andrzej Duda is. I want to repeat that. We just know each other as people. As two, dare I say, in some sense, friends. Jesus. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm not even sure how to respond to that one. Wanting to be Trump's friend so much. His private friend. We're not just two politicians meeting. We're actually good friends. We're actually good friends. Him and I. We're actually good friends. Wow. Ugh. Damn. When asked for the reaction of Trump for his proposal of increasing the minimum spending of NATO from 2 to 3% of the budget, he answered, "I never talked with President Donald Trump about my proposal when it comes to NATO spending from 2 to 3% GDP. But I do believe that he'll be positive about my idea." I think he'll be positive about my idea. Why? Why do you think his attitude about my idea will be positive? Well, I think it's obvious. I think it's obviously because we're friends. We know each other as people. We know each other as two men. We're just two good friends. That's why. That's why. That's exactly why. The article continues under the thing. We're gonna read it. We're gonna continue. Damn. Andrzej Duda has been asked. Andrzej Duda was asked if he's not worried that this meeting might antagonize the Joe Biden administration. That he might not, antagonize the administration of Joe Biden a little bit. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried because presidents meet with their old colleagues, especially those that worked together when they were in office. It is something normal. There is nothing unusual about it. He also said that presidents meet with various politicians during their foreign visits. It is normal that when a state has a good relationship with another state, then it wants those relations to be good with various representatives over the whole political spectrum, said Duda. So which is it? Is it trying to keep good relations with the people from various, representatives of the political spectrum, or are you just meeting Trump as a person, as a good friend? Like, which is it? Are you meeting him to keep good relations with a right-wing crazo, or are you doing it to meet your good friend? And it reiterates that the meeting is happening as Europe is preparing for an eventual victory of Donald Trump. The press, damn. The agency has reminded that the Polish president has been expressing his admiration for Trump for quite a long time now. He actually suggested at some time that the permanent US base in Poland should be named Fort Trump. How cringe. How cringe. The permanent US base in Poland should be named Fort Trump. Thank God it isn't. Thank God it is not called that, okay? Thank God. Thank fuck. But he added that unfortunately, such a name, at the end of the day, has not been approved. Has not been approved. How unfortunate. Fort Trump has not come to be. Oh gosh. Fort Trump. So, Viktor Orban has already met with Donald Trump, so that Viktor Orban has this already behind him. It's already a done deal for Viktor Orban. Well, also David Cameron has been talking with Trump. So there we go. You've learned about the controversial Polish topic, the Polish that has been rattling the feathers in Polish sort of political sphere as of late. The fact that the Polish president has sort of opted to go and meet up with Daddy Trump. How's that? Pretty cool, huh? Hmm? Pretty cool. Did you enjoy the Polish segment? The Polish part of the world? I am Polish. I have to do Polish things from time to time. And it's related to the new election. What do you think? Does this little meeting indicate that Poland, by extension, is endorsing Trump? Should Andrzej Duda be meeting with Trump? Should that be a thing? Answer in the comments. And also answer in the chat. Give me your feedbacks. Give me your honest thoughts. So that's the thing. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want to see Trump talk to like anyone. If anything, he's certainly entertaining his absurdity. No, 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 no. It's gonna be a private meeting. It's not gonna be it is not going to be a meeting for the masses. It's gonna be me meeting between two friends. It's a intimate meeting. It's a private, intimate enterprise. It's not for your eyes. It's not for your eyes. It's not for anybody's eyes. It's only for the four eyes. And the security, of course. But the security is basically invisible, so it doesn't count. The security doesn't count. It's just for security. Hello, fake Alec Kyle Parker. Hello. So yes, we've covered a Polish thing. A controversial Polish thing, mind you. Polish president meeting with Donald J. Trump. And what it means for Polish politics. That's right. Hello, hello. Blech. What else have we got? What else have we got? Yes, oh my god, I'm waiting. What else have we got that is so cool that I simply need to talk about it with you? Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see if the escalation will come. Because as you know, Iran attacked Israel. All the missiles have been intercepted. And then... Gosh. This is fine. And now Iran is preparing for the escalation for the escalation. We'll see what happens. I wanna give you some domestic news. Oh gosh, no, not that. That's too depressing for you. That is too Polish. What? Okay, all cops are bastards. Let's go. Holy crap. So I guess it's been a thing in Poland for a bit now, and I'm gonna indulge you in the Polish police problem. There's a police problem in Poland, in Warsaw in particular, I suppose. There's a police problem in Warsaw, and it's bad, and it seems like it's not been solved yet. So everyone's been sort of fantasizing about, how should I call it? Well, not how should I call it. The defunding of the police, the abolishing of the police, right? There's been like a big fantasy in certain groups on the political aisle. In Poland, it's just becoming reality. It's becoming naturally a strange, bizarre reality. It has not been this bad in 30 years. In Warsaw, there's a big lack of policemen. I've been hearing about this for months now. Months and months and months. The situation with the police is so bad that actually there have been people that have been rejected by the police before in Warsaw because they were deemed unfit to be policemen. But now that there's this weird critical shortage of policemen in Warsaw, they've been given a call and they've been told, so you remember when we rejected you because you sort of did not meet our criteria to become a police officer? Yeah, yeah. You still want to be a cop? You still want to be a cop? Well then, sign up. So desperate. So sad. So it seems like since I've heard that was happening, that people that were sort of rejected from the force because they were unfit to join it were offered a spot after all. It seems like the problem has not been resolved at all, and that it's just gotten worse. Seems like people just don't want to join the police. It seems like it seems like it's a thing. It seems like nobody just police is not a very popular job in Warsaw, in the capital of Poland. So it seems like one of every 4 police officers is sort of missing. There's a vacancy for every 1 in 4 police officers in Warsaw. The level of vacancy is about 23.5%. And the Polish garrison, Warsaw garrison, there is 7,717 police officers serving. That was like the beginning of April. So, considering the data, there is a shortage of 1 of every 4 officers. There's a shortage. And when it comes to the officers, I guess, on the line of duty, those proportions are even worse. We have to remember there are many officers that are just undergoing basic courses and officer courses. And you also have to take into consideration that people have to sort of have some free time. That some officers want to take maternal leave, and some have to, get sick leave. So there is a shortage in officers in the first place, and those officers that are already in service get sick, get pregnant, and also, I don't know, go on vacation, which sort of makes this whole thing even bigger, which is interesting. So, the biggest shortages are on the streets because, Jesus Christ! Of course. The biggest vacancy is on the streets because there are no vacancies when it comes to positions of sort of power. There are no vacancies at the top, okay? Let me put it this way. That is the reality that every new chief of police will have to sort of come to terms with. That there's a shortage of underground officers, but there's no shortage of those who are sort of in the upper positions. So the new chief of police, Dariusz Walichowski, will have to deal with this sad, sad reality. What do you think? What do you think of the war? You're getting like the inside info on the problems of the Polish capital, but it's okay. It is perfectly fine because in reality, all cops are bastards, right? All cops are bastards, so it's all good. Let's defund the police or whatever. It's good. It's okay. We'll see what the results will be. If I get stabbed on the street, of Warsaw, it just means that there was a vacancy of an officer that should have protected me or something, and there was just no officer. So if you don't hear from me in the next 3 or 4 days, it means that I went out the streets of Warsaw and I've been crimed and there was no officer to protect me because there is a shortage. Amazing. That's what we like to hear. That is what we like to hear. Oh. Oh. That's right. What else? do I have for you? Huh? Blah. Damn. The police one. The police one was powerful. I feel like I was able to spread my wings with this one because it affects me personally. It affects my safety. Help me, officer. I'm being chased by a dangerous person. But there's no officer. All officers are missing in action. All officers chose better jobs. A. Oh, that's not really. That's so obvious that I'm not even gonna discuss this. Okay, I'm gonna go to the toilet real quick. I'll be right back, okay? I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with you. In fact, get your friends, get your buddies, get more people here. And I'll be right back with you. Uh, oh, I need to go to the toilet so bad. So bad. I'll be right back. I'm still ill. Dance, 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 dance like a monkey. What happened? Is there dance like a monkey? What is there a Prison Sunday raid or something? Let me see. No, there isn't. Dance, dance, dance like a monkey. I thought there was a President Sunday raid or something, but no. But no! But no. Alas, no. Oof. So what do you think? What do you think of today's big news? Hmm? We've touched about at least a few things. Least of all the controversial meeting of Andrzej Duda to the US with President Donald Trump, who I hope you will not vote for. I hope you will be voting for Joe Biden. Oh God, please, please let the vote this Saturday go well. Please let no crap happen. Please let there be no BS happening. It would be so horrible. Please, 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 please. Let me see. What's happening? Oh my gosh. Oh. Now this I want to talk about a bit, possibly. I have an email coming for you at some point tonight. Please, please hit me up with follow-up as I'd love to hear your thoughts and the question about it. Is it about the thing that I think it is? Or no? Is it about is it the thing? I attacks. Attacks. Probably. Because I seen an email from you about the school thing. So I guess you would like to follow up on that? Yes, I saw the email. I've seen the email you've sent to me about it. You said that you've brainstormed some questions and you've asked them and you've got a lot of answers. You know? Okay, we're gonna do a thing about it. We're gonna do a thing about it on stream. It's gonna be a zing. It's gonna be a thing to remember. It's gonna be a thing that will bring us joy. Just like this. Ukraine is not Syria. Defense intelligence spokesman responds to mayor's remarks that Kharkiv could become a second Aleppo. Aleppo. The city that has been razed to the ground. Andriy Yusov, the spokesman for Defense Intelligence of Ukraine, DIU, says that Kharkiv will not become a second Aleppo, as the city's mayor Ihor Terechov had previously said, because Ukraine has something to respond with. In other words, Ukraine actually can prevent the worst from happening and prevent the city from just being boom, 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 and from many people from dying. Although Ukraine is sort of getting short on the things to respond with. It is getting dangerously short, so that's unfortunately a thing. But there will be a vote this week, so we'll see. Yusov during a broadcast of the Ukrainska Pravda. Still, Ukraine is not Syria, and I would not use apocalyptic scenarios for comparison. It is clear that Ukraine is not alone in this situation, and the Ukrainian defense forces also have something to respond with. But at the same time, we critically need international assistance and support. This applies to both weapons in general and air defense equipment, which Ukraine is sorely lacking. As I said before, very recently, a Ukrainian electric power plant has been damaged, heavily damaged, and that is why, because Ukraine simply ran out of anti-air missiles to intercept the attack with. That is the sad reality on the ground. In an interview with the Guardian, Kharkiv mayor Ihor Terechov said that Russia had switched tactics to try to destroy Kharkiv's power supply and terrorize its 1.3 million residents by firing into residential areas. As a result, Kharkiv could become a second Aleppo unless the US provides military aid to help Ukraine obtain the air defense needed to protect against long-range Russian attacks. Which I think that as long as Ukraine has anything, as long as Ukraine still has any means of anti-air, it will prioritize definitely cities like Kharkiv, Kiev. I think those will be the priorities. So if Kharkiv would not be able to defend itself against missiles and drones, that would definitely mean that Ukraine has run out of anti-air, since it is being prioritized. The Syrian city of Aleppo was heavily bombed by government and Russian forces at the height of the civil war 10 years ago. The Russian Federation, which backed the government of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, embarked on an intensive bombing campaign targeting the eastern districts of Aleppo, where opposition forces and civilians were hiding. The strikes killed thousands of people and destroyed much of the city. Thousands of Aleppo residents are still refugees, and the city is in need of large-scale reconstruction. So, unlike Aleppo, as was said, Ukraine actually, for now, still has the means to shoot the missiles and the drones down. And I know that places like Kharkiv are being prioritized by Ukraine when it comes to defense, but it will not be so forever. Sooner or later, Ukraine will run out of missiles, will run out of means to defend, and at that point, we will be seeing some problems. But again, let's not be totally Polish. Let's not be totally pessimistic. Let's show some spirit. There will be a vote this week, so there will be a vote this week, and it should all be better. Okay, I'm afraid, as much as I'm happy to be streaming for all of you, I'm afraid I need to cut this stream short because it is now 2 a.m. It is now 2 a.m. and I need to be at my mom's at 7 a.m. That is the deal. That is the deal that I have made with my mom because she needs my help. She desperately needs my help with certain things. So I agreed to be there for her at 7 a.m. sharp. And it takes me some time to sort of gather my bearings and get to her place. Over an hour, in fact. So I hope to get a few hours of sleep. And then we'll be, yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, which is my today. But it is your tomorrow. I hope to see you all. I hope to see more of you. There you go. See you. I'll see you. Good night. Love and solidarity. Bye, 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 bye.